Okay. Okay. We good?
I'm good.
Perfect. Okay. So what happened was the last. Uh-oh. Wow. Is your phone okay?
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to find out.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Okay.
The photo, yeah. Okay. Wait 1 minute. This is worse than the conversation.
This is great.
I'm teasing you. I think this is fun.
Okay.
I don't know what else to put behind it. Okay, so now maybe if I don't touch.
Does that work?
Don't give me any calisthenics to do, please.
I will not. That's what the pool's for.
Yeah, I went in today.
You did?
Yesterday. Oh, fabulous. Okay, kid.
No. Okay. So basically what happened was I was doing it off my phone and there was a terrible echo on the recording. So there was like half of our conversation once I uploaded it, it was like, and we were losing stuff. So it literally would have been a loss. So you know what? Consider it practice, right?
It was interesting because when I got off, I undid Skype because I don't use it. And because it was on my iCloud, and my iCloud they keep on telling me I don't have any more room. Yeah. So I thought, let me just get rid of this. So I did. And then when I uploaded it 2 minutes ago, then it went right on to our conversation. That's great. And I thought you were recording it again.
So did you get to watch some of it?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So we had a little bit of practice.
Yeah, we were brilliant.
You're a pro. You make it easy for me.
I thank you.
All right. Well, so let's do this again.
Okay.
I mean, we're going to keep very similar format. What I am going to ask you, just to be a little prepared for, I think I'm going to change the order a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to welcome you. I'll do a slight little introduction. I'll say hello, and then just hello back. And then what I'll do is I'll then do that dinner table introduction. I'll explain who you are. And then before we start, I'm going to say, we're all on our own right now. And I'm going to ask you to tell me about, what was in your life a perfect date, right? So we can crack the ice there, because everyone's alone and people are home right now. People are longing to be outside and to go out. Glenda, tell me in your life your favorite date. You can tell me about you and your husband on the third one. What your third date and a proposal, whatever you'd like. That was a wonderful story.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to ask you about your location. So then it'll say, tell me about the situation in the building. I want to ask you some questions about, living on your own. And you said the closet with the memories. You were talking about cleaning everything out. Having, you go to this, you've been to the marketplace 3 times. And then I wanted to ask you, you live in a building where there's a lot of people at high risk. How are people treating this moment? Like something along those lines. Then I'm going to get into some of those rapid fire questions, which will pace and talk as we did before. And then again, go into the part where I'm going to ask you about mental health, right? The subject matter of yesterday, today, and beyond. We'll get into passion and determination. And then also being alone, what solitude means today. And then closing out with you getting your word in. So a lot of the same stuff, just a little bit of a different order.
No problem. Do you have, being the accomplished interviewer that you are there any things that you would say that, hey, that I should leave out, put in, or ignore completely?
No, it's perfect. Like, honestly, the point of this is that you and I are comfortable, and who cares about the rest?
That's my motto.
Right? Like, the thing is, right now, No fucking rules. Who cares?
Yeah, I just said, who the fuck cares?
Exactly. Who the fuck cares? Like, it's you and
Don't,
me. You know who's going to see this?
yeah.
Your family and friends, my family and friends.
All
And
right,
who?
well, let me ask you that.
Yeah.
After you do it, after we've got this down,
Yeah.
then where do you put it?
Okay, so what I'm going to do after this, I'll edit the front and
Edit
the
it.
back just to close it up, and then I'm going to put this up tomorrow, right? So what I'll do is I'm going to put it on my Instagram,
Yeah, which I see.
and I'm going to put it onto my Facebook, where I'm going to mail it to you as well in a file, so you have it.
So
Okay.
what does that mean in a file?
So what I'll do is I'll post it on your Facebook page. You want me to do that?
No, not until I see it.
Okay. So
What do you?
I'll send it to you first, right? And actually, you know what? When I finish this, I'm going to edit it down, and then because our conversation right now that we're having,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to listen to this again afterwards on Skype. So you can look at it because I'm not going to take anything out of our conversation.
Okay.
I'm just going to edit front and the back. Like I don't touch anything in the middle. So right now we've been on for 6 minutes and 35 seconds. When we start, you're probably going to have like a 40-minute video, but you'll be able to click this button of our conversation. When we finish, you can watch the whole thing through.
Okay. So if you put it on your Instagram, okay, which I don't have, but I can go. I see your interviews all the time because I click on them.
Yeah. Well, because I put them on Facebook.
Aha.
So I'm going to put it on Facebook also.
So then if I see it on your Facebook, then I can put it on share and put it on mine.
Absolutely.
Let's do it that way because that I know how to do.
Perfect. All right. You tell me when you're ready to start this up. Did you bring a drink this time?
Oh, I had it the last time.
Well, cheers to you. All right. Let's get it going.
And to you.
All right. So you tell me when you're ready. You want to give me a little 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Go ahead. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're on.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Get a Word In with me, your host, Josh Wagner, connecting with different friends in different locations and vocations, discussing yesterday, today, and beyond. And today, I'm going to Southern Florida. We're going to link up with a really dear friend of mine, an old friend of mine who's 83 years young. Her name is Glenda Abramson, and she is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in her condominium. And I'm so happy to have her with me here today. How are you, Glenda?
I'm fine, and I feel honored to be asked to be on this.
Well, it's an honor to have you here. And the reason, Glenda, I wanted to connect with you today is, quite honestly, besides my family, I'm not speaking to people from an older generation on a daily basis. And I think the connectivity between generations today is massively important. I speak to my mother and my uncles, but to me, you've always been my friend. And conversations between friends and family are very different. And for me to get your perspective and to share your perspective of this moment that's happening in the world, I think is something we should all make efforts to speak different generationally with each other. So, Glenda, I love having you here.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just going to educate you right now. It's
Please.
Not elderly. It's more matured.
You know what? Cheers to that, Glenda. More matured, because you know what? Wow. You define beauty in every way, shape, and form. I'm so happy to have you here. All right, let me give you a quick dinner table introduction so everyone knows who you are. To me, Glenda Abramson, I've known for 20 plus years. When my mother and father retired from New York City down to Florida, they live in the same building. Glenda has been practicing psychologist for 47 years. She's born and raised in Boston. Her accent may reveal it a little bit. She is a mother. She is a grandmother. She is an avid reader, a sun worshiper, an incredible dancer, a global traveler, and someone since day one who every time I've seen her has made me the most comfortable in my own two shoes. I've been able to express myself. She's been an incredible listener, and I've learned so much from her perspective. And to have her here with me here today is a privilege. And I've actually never seen her wear the same pair of glasses twice in a row. How many glasses do you have, Glenda?
Thanks for noticing, and I'm not going to tell.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Glenda, before we kick it off, I'd like to get a short little story from you because you're such an incredible storyteller. Today, with this moment happening, COVID-19, so many people are by themselves, alone, in solitude, or with loved ones. But I think everyone's thinking about dates of their past, amazing dates they've had. Can you tell me in your life a great little story of the best date of your life or one of them?
No, it was the greatest, and that was the first date that I met my husband. Of course, that was the beginning of a lot of wonderful dates. Especially, I talk about the third date that I went with him.
Yeah.
He claims he was on the floor getting the keys to his car, but that's when he proposed to me after 3 dates. And we were married shortly after that, within the year, and had a wonderful life for 37 years. So that was my favorite.
Where did he propose to you?
In Revere Beach in Massachusetts.
Wait,
that's where all the young people.
Like Paul Revere Beach.
Pardon?
Paul Revere, named after Paul Revere.
Well, Paul Revere was down the road in Boston. But that's where all the kids went to make out, and it was called Watching the Submarines. I never saw a submarine, but I did get married.
You did get married. Well, thank you very much. I think that people are going to be longing for romance, and walks down a beach and being proposed to sounds absolutely beautiful.
It was.
Thank you for sharing. All right, so I want to get into your location. I know where you live. You live in the same building complex as my mother. But can you share with everybody what's your location? Describe it to us.
Okay. My jail is fabulous. I'm in a high rise right on the ocean.
Yeah.
To my right is the ocean and the sand. To my left is the intercoastal. Yeah. So it is a beautiful, physically a beautiful setting.
Mm. And then what about, getting out? How often have you been out in the past 5-6 weeks? What's the routine like? You live in a building where there are, quote unquote, a large percentage of people that are high at risk. Being a psychologist your whole life, because for me, you're a teenager when I speak to you, meaning the youth is exuding out of you always. How does that feel? What's that coping like, knowing that so many people are at risk?
You know what? I have found the people here in my complex, intelligent people. Nobody wants to put themselves at risk. Do we like being in our homes? No. But the fear is, if not, then we're leaving ourselves wide open for stuff that we don't want either. Yeah. So we do what the county says. Very quickly, we were just told as of yesterday that the pool that had been closed for almost 5 weeks open. And I'm speaking for myself. I mean, that was heaven sent. And I've been down yesterday and today, as other people have. But it isn't fun.
Yeah.
It isn't fun. You've got to have a certain headset to be in your apartment, knowing that, God forbid, you go out, you can get something.
Well, I know that, my mom told me the big news in the building today was the pool's open. And, Glenda and I have walked many laps inside that pool, and I know that you got the sundial worship. But let me ask, in your apartment during this time, have you been doing anything to change things around with the time that's been provided to you?
Yeah, I'm very, and I do suggest this for clients too. Schedule when things are different are very, very important. Yeah. If not, you lose track of time, of days, of what has to be done, what can't be done. So yes, I'm pretty structured in that. Well, I've cleaned my house. I invite you over to dinner. You can eat off the floor.
Yeah.
I cleaned my
You calling me a
pantry.
dog, or you're saying it's so clean?
It's so clean.
Thank you.
So clean. I cleaned my pantry, and yes, I threw out cans that said 2009.
Yeah.
My difficulty, my struggle was getting rid of clothes that I have brought from Boston to another apartment, to the where I'm living now. And I take it all with me because for me, they're beautiful clothes. I spent a lot of money. There's memories.
Yeah.
And I don't want to throw them out. However, I keep on saying, well, they're going to come back in style. And then I realize at 84, by the time they come back in style, I'll be dead. So I put them in a green bag. And there's a place where we can bring them. And hopefully somebody will wear them, not wear them, cut them up into rags, but they'll be useful.
I must say, I've never seen you wear anything out of style. So I highly doubt that anything there is not in fashion. What I do want to ask you, was there, items carry memories and soul with them. And I'm sure that those items will be passed on to carry positivity to the next owner. And is there a particular item you just couldn't let go of? Is there one? And what was the memory behind it? Or what was one that you opened up and you go, God, I have not even thought about that. What was one memory that clothes have given you recently?
Well, one that I wore, I had a sequined bomber jacket. God is my judge. It is 40 years old. I dragged it from every apartment from Boston to down here, and I couldn't give it away. I was invited to a New Year's Eve party last year.
Yeah.
And I said, damn, I'm putting them on. I put a pair of black silk pants on them. I put the bomber jacket on with all its sequins. Yeah. And I owned the room.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. So you're keeping that one?
I'm keeping it. Maybe I'll even have it. Well, I'm keeping it.
We should put it in a frame. Put it on one of the walls.
When we're finished with this, I'm going to take a picture of it and send it to you, Josh, so you will have it.
Send it to me, because I want to see this. And you know what? I may ask to borrow it one of these days. I got no problem with sequins. All right. So let me ask. So you have the apartment, everything's arranged. You now have the pool open, so things are a bit different, right? So you are comfortable. You have space. You have time. You have peace.
Yes.
Yep.
You make your own peace, Josh.
Yeah.
You can either get up in the morning, suck your thumb all day long, and say, "Poor me."
Yeah.
Or you can say, "Damn, I'm so sorry I'm in this position.
Yeah.
What can I do to make it different?"
Yeah.
I got online. I decided I was going to do something productive. So I got online and I was going to take sign language.
Oh.
I thought, brilliant, right? Except that I have such arthritic hands that I was swearing. Not doing the right thing. So I said, okay, let me think of something else that'll be productive.
Okay. Oh, you're amazing. Okay, so first, I'm going to teach you not sign language, but maybe a little thing that will be easy for your arthritic hands. So, people do the heart, right?
Yeah.
Heart. So I was living in Asia in Japan the past 2 years. Easy on the hands. You know how to make a little baby heart and say you love somebody? No. Just take your 2 fingers like this, and you make a little heart with the tips of your fingers. You see that?
Like this?
Yep. You just made a heart. I love you too.
I just learned something.
And you know what? That's sign language everywhere. I love you.
I'm going to remember it.
Perfect. All right. Let's get to the next segment. These are rapid questions. I'm going to ask you some stuff. We'll walk through them. Some will be single word answers, whatever. Let's go. Some questions for you. I know you're an incredible dancer. If I may request the next dance, what's it going to be? What style of dance are we doing? Or do you have a musical artist you'd want to hear?
I would do the cha-cha.
Yes.
And I would do something by Santana.
Okay, Santana, I know. Cha-Cha, you're leading. Next question. What is your drink of choice?
Vodka straight up, chilled, a chunk of lime so I can squeeze it, and 3 olives.
Done. Like it. You're a very social person. This we know. How has socializing changed in your life these past 5-6 weeks?
Well, it's down to nil, other than Zooming.
Yeah.
And other than conversation on the phone, or
Gotcha.
Cooking something and leaving it on a doorknob.
Have you been doing that with people in the building?
Yes, and they've been doing it to me too.
So that's a little pass on. That's really great. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah. And I trust those that are doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I
So you're not wiping down your neighbor's food when it comes into your home?
No.
Trust is there. Okay, I got to ask you, because I know you'd get a kick out of this. What is one, not senior citizen, mature person perk that you take advantage of, or a time that you just said, you know what, like, yeah, I'm going to pull that card right now?
I pull it every time I'm not getting my way.
Okay.
And then I'll say, oh, I'm 84 years old. Please, just do it and let me get on my way. Or just tell me and don't give me anxiety. And then you hear, oh, yeah. Okay, I'll get right back to you. Stay on the line. I'll do this. I'll do that. Yeah, it works. But now I've let it out. So now everybody's going to know.
Wow, that's a great trick. Okay, I'm going to start doing that on phone calls when I'm put on hold. Is there a particular technology that fascinates you?
No, none of it well, does it fascinate me that I'm in a world where everything is so technology? Josh, when I used to use the phone as a young girl,
yeah,
you know, it was dial-up.
Yeah.
You had 2 people on a line. Yes.
Yeah.
That's how. So all of it is new and exciting on that level. But it is also very frustrating for me, scary at times.
Yeah.
But I won't give in. And much to the chagrin of people who I seek out to help me.
Yeah.
And I'm very didactic. You have to go, 1, push a button and it's on. 2, that's simple for me.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't like any of it, but I understand in order to survive.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm surviving.
I'm with you. I think it's a Moore's principle that says that since the invention of the computer chip, that it has doubled in capacity and shrunk half in size every 2 years since its inception. And we exceeded Moore's principle. I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. That now technology is outpacing what we think is comprehensive in terms of size. So it's terrifying for everybody. And generationally, you once told me that you choose to forget things, and which is a real skill. And there's certain things with technology, I've just decided I can't do it. I'm going to know the, but I can't dive in. But interesting. I think we all have similar fears, because if you're not connected all the time, you fall behind. All right, let me ask another question. If I'm giving you a one-way ticket, regardless of travel restrictions, anywhere in the world, where is it going to be?
Well, my first choice, of course, would be California, because my family's there.
Yeah.
But given that's the obvious, I would go to Italy. I adore Italy.
Specific spot in Italy that's your secret little...
My goodness, I love it all. I love it all. My last trip was to Venice, Florence, and Positano.
Yeah.
But I like Cinque Terre. I love it all.
Cinque Terre is beautiful. Okay, next question. Definitive moment in society. So in my life, I have 3, couple of definitive moments that I remember in my life. I remember when the Challenger exploded in television when I was in second grade. I remember September 11th. For you, as an 84, soon-to-be young woman, what are a couple definitive moments that society had that you can recall?
Certainly, Jack Kennedy's death.
Yeah.
That was truly overwhelming. I was pregnant with my first child, and it was mind-blowing for me. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I think, as you say, that Challenger, the blowing up of that with 11 young people in there, that
and the first teacher. That's why they showed it to all the kids.
Yeah. So, and those two primarily, I'm sure there's probably others. Certainly 9/11. Was scary. I was far from it physically, but right there emotionally.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Let me get to the next question. Tomorrow, you wake up, and for one single day, you're any age you want to be. For one day, or a moment in time, you want to go back to that period. What is it? Too many to count.
Yeah, I'm a very lucky woman. Part of it, I made my own luck. Part of it, it was just handed to me. Part of it was the people surrounding me that made me lucky. But too many to wanna single out. I couldn't single out one. Josh,
you know what?
Isn't that interesting?
You know what the answer is then? Waking up tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Good. Very good. Just when I wake up in the morning and I stand up and I don't fall down, it's the best day I'm going to have.
Ah, love you. All right. Next question. What was your last good deed?
I don't know if I had a last good deed. I hopefully do good deeds every day. And some are minuscule, but they're wonderful deeds. And it doesn't have to be earth-shattering, my good deeds. It can be very, gee, you look good today. Can I help you with this? Hey, how are your kids? Yeah. Just anything that's going to bring, or giving advice. I'm good at that. Sometimes unwanted.
Which is sometimes when it's the most necessary.
You got that correct. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that line. But I think I do something. Hopefully, I do something every day.
Okay. And do you have a last regret?
No, I've got plenty of regrets. But as I told you, I'm capable of saying to myself, is it something you can undo? And if so, pick up the phone, write a letter, whatever it is that you can do to undo it. If I cannot undo it, then I let it go. I choose not to remember it.
Cheers to that.
Energy.
Too much energy. And you squeeze a lime to that. Cheers to that.
Wait a minute. How do you...
Yeah, little hearts. I love you. Yeah, you're getting it. I love you. Okay. Next part I want to get into, I call it yesterday, today, and beyond, just to take some subject matters of the guest's expertise. So we can talk about something from yesterday, today, or moving forward. Okay. I'd like to ask you, what are your thoughts about mental health?
Oh, wow.
As a 47-year practicing psychologist, obviously that's a very big question. But yeah, let's take from when you were starting your career to where it is today. How do you feel mental health is accepted?
When I was starting out, if you didn't say to anybody that you needed help, you didn't go to a therapist. If you did, you kept it under wraps so that nobody would know. It was, you were labeled shamefully. you were labeled, instead of, which is now where mental health is, and it took a long time. Yeah. But mental health is, if you need help, it's wonderful that you have the strength and the insight to seek it. Yeah. We all need help in some way. Yeah. And therapy is being with somebody that has no other agenda but you. Okay? Yeah. We're focused on you. And there are many disciplines in psychology. Some of us use them all. Some of us only use one agenda. But if you're able to connect with your client and let them know, I'm listening to you, I hear you, I understand. And now let's work together to say, is this working for you? Meaning whatever issue they come in with. Yeah. All right. Obviously, it isn't because you're here. So let's work out a pattern. Let's work out stuff that you can live with. And it's easy for me to say it. It takes time. It takes strength. It takes insightfulness on the part of the client. And that's difficult because it hasn't been like that for a long time. Yeah. So I give credit to anybody that seeks help in any way. I give credit to me seeking help technology. Yeah. And I mean, go ahead. You certainly are making me want to sit down and put a pillow under my head and lay down and talk to you. And for those of you can direct message me and I'll give you Glenda's info if you want to be one of her new clients. All right. So to summarize, today, I think that from where we were yesteryear, that mental health that was looked down upon as a disability now is actually considered a strength of admission and confrontation and sharing your problems and being vocal about your challenges and being able to mature. Hopefully this moment where people are spending so much time in this unique period of time in their confines are going to be seeking comfort in connecting in multiple ways, using technology, picking up the phone and sharing their problems. Beautiful. Next question I have. Excuse me, one thing I wanted to add. Yeah. When you started, there was only a private therapy generally. Wow. And now we've gotten so much wiser. AA has done it for years. A group therapy. Yeah. That everybody can talk about what their difficulty is. People don't feel, oh, gee, I didn't know other people felt that way, but we're human and we do have the same feelings. What's different is how we deal with them. And that's what therapy is about. How do you deal? And I think, a younger, as generations get, as people become younger and younger and younger, their connectivity to technology is an extension of themselves. Yeah. And, feeling part of a community is a massive thing today. And being able to share those problems is very, it's wonderful. All right, moving forward. Next one. What does passion and determination mean for you? What does that signify over your life? Well, I think that they go hand in hand. If you have a passion, whatever it is, yeah, I think then you have the determination to do it in whatever the passion is. Very quickly, I went to school 9 years night school. Yeah. To get my undergraduate and then my graduate. I had 2 children. I had a husband that traveled. And when I look back at it now, I don't understand how I did it. And then when I say it, I said, I had the passion that I wanted it. And therefore that gave me the determination. And I did it. Yeah, it took a long time. Yeah, it was tough. But I did it, and now I look back and I think, damn girl, you're good. Yeah, damn girl, thousands of people want to say to you, damn girl, thank you very much. Because you helped literally thousands of people because of those actions. Hopefully, one way or another. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because this is a moment of, get off your tush. Like, this isn't, you said before, don't suck your thumb. This isn't, oh, pity me. Like,
No,
this is a moment to really say to yourself, I'm proud of what I did today. Whether
heck
that
yeah.
was a small accomplishment or a large one, as long as you're, my grandmother used to say, inch by inch, life is a cinch, yard by yard, hard, right?
Perfect.
This
Can I
is a day
write that
of,
down and use it?
you can, and Grandma Birdie is to be credited for that. I mean, the thing
Yeah.
is that when things are difficult, if you can just move the ball a touch, it's
You've got to appreciate, I think, your own truth. All
yes,
right. And once you appreciate your own truth, and if that means getting up in the morning, looking in the mirror, and doing something as simple as saying, person, male, female, whatever, person, you're okay.
yeah,
You got faults, absolutely, but you also have strengths, and
yeah,
appreciate that, and then
yeah.
start the day working on your strengths, whatever it is.
It's this is one of the reasons I love talking to you because you take these very grandiose subjects and subject matter and comprehension is an interesting thing for each person, right? Some people understand something in iota of a second. Sometimes people spend a lifetime to understand something. You've done this incredible job every time I speak to you to take very large subject matter and give me a little pill that I can pop because it makes me understand it quickly. So thank you very much for that. And I'm going to ask you next one to, I think we all need these words of advice from you. What does it mean today, not yesterday, today and the future of being alone? And what is solitude? Because even if we are with family, friends, goldfish, dog, cat right now, we are in confines right now. You know, what would you say to somebody who's feeling very alone right now or in solitude?
You just said something, we can be with family. Okay, I'm a single woman. I'm a widow. I am physically by myself in the apartment.
Yeah.
But emotionally and mentally, again, I choose not to be alone. Okay? And by that I mean taking a class over the internet. Not very good, but I did. It was fun. I laughed at myself. And now I'll think of something else. Of
Yeah.
picking up the phone and reaching out to somebody, maybe that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Maybe one of your regrets. Maybe you have a regret. Call up somebody and say, hey, look it. I remember when I did this to you. It's a fun exercise if you choose to. And
Yeah.
I also think that if you, as I said before, if you appreciate your truth, you have a moment now where you can reflect. You've got many moments to sit and reflect, figure out what you want, and it's reflect, then respond to the reflection, and then reset yourself. Okay? And reinvent.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, I wish I was kinder. I wish I was more thoughtful. That's emotionally.
Yeah.
Or I wish I could sing, or I wish I'm going to put on Santana and teach myself to whatever.
Cha-cha.
Everything is on the computer now with the
Yeah.
technology. So do it yourself, appreciate yourself, give yourself that permission. Not doing something right is not a failure. Not continuing to learn, that's where the failure is.
I love you. Times two. Times two.
Wait a minute. My nail is, that's good.
I love it. Okay. Glenda, I could talk to you forever. What I am going to ask, what would be your closing word for you to get a word in these times? What would you like to share with everybody? What's Glenda Abramson's closing word?
Well, I don't know if it's, I guess I would say choices. I would like people to know that they all have choices, whatever they are. You are in charge of yourself. And that's why I said how to reinvent yourself, how to know your truth. So know that whatever choices you make, there are going to be consequences, because some choices are not very pleasant. There are going to be consequences, but they could be good consequences. But in the end, you know they are yours. You own it. Joe Schmo didn't do it to you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You stand up, be your own person. And like we said at the beginning, you've got to be able to not rent space in your head for things and people and incidences that you can't undo. That's so wasted. That's so time consuming and tiring. So if you have to look at yourself every morning and say, hey, you're a wonderful person. Do something today. I don't bake a banana bread.
Well, you know what I'm going to do, Glenda? I'm going to take your words of advice. I'm going to appreciate my truth. And my truth is, I'm so grateful to call you my friend. I'm so grateful to be able to hear your lessons and to apply them and share them with other people. And I think that everyone today should really think about how they can occupy that space in their head, right? How they can occupy their time. And I'm so happy I got to be able to connect with you from a different generational perspective as my friend to share your words of wisdom and experience.
Josh, I thank you very much. Back at you. I think you're an absolutely extremely wonderful young man.
Thank you.
And I too am very happy to call you my friend, and proud.
Thank you. Thank you. Glenda, thank you for getting a word in with me. We'll be having a glass together soon, a little cuppa, and I'm going to do you a little love right there again. Okay?
And you too.
I love you.
Ciao, ciao.
Right. Thank you, Glenda. Have a great day. Bye.